Welcome back to the Spirit of the Hawk podcast covering Defensa y Justicia. My name's Jason Longshore. Not the happiest of results in the Copa Libertadores for Defensa. They were so close to getting into the round of 16. A stoppage time goal on the road in Brazil against Santos is what ended that dream. It came in the 91st minute. Up to that point, Defensa was in a qualification spot for the round of 16. Look, I think everybody knew that it was going to be a difficult job to go to Santos and get a needed result. You knew that Olimpia and Delfín were playing at the same time in Paraguay. Most people expected Olimpia to take care of business there. They did not, and that opened a door a little bit for Defensa. At 1-1, which is where it was going into stoppage time, Defensa y Justicia would have moved on into the knockout round in their first ever Copa Libertadores run. Things got off to a great start with Brian Romero opening the scoring in the 51st minute. The perfect start to the second half after a back-and-forth first half where Santos did have some good chances. Defensa had good chances. The match ended up 50% possession for both teams. Both teams had a number of shots. Santos had a few more on target, 6-3. Defensa had more shots in total, 16-13. It was a very even game. I think Defensa acquitted themselves very, very well. Even after they conceded an equalizer, and that came in the 78th minute to Lucas Braga, Defensa felt like they were in control of the match. It looked like they were even more likely to score a winner. Santos appeared to kind of run out of ideas to a degree. At this point, Delfín is leading Olimpia over in Paraguay. That gave Defensa a bit of a cushion. At 1-1, if that game finishes 1-0, Defensa goes through in the knockout round. Delfín is pushing for a second goal, which would have flipped the goal differential. Defensa was honestly pushing for a winning goal, which would have easily put them through. Maybe they were pushing a little bit too much, and that's something that people have questioned about Hernan Crespo's tactics here. It's tough, and he talked about it after the match. You're a young team. You're in this spot for the first time. Yes, you're scoreboard watching to a degree, but you're not keeping up with the details there. You don't know how that match is going to go. You know that a second goal for you, and it felt like it was coming. You know that a second goal for you, no worries about what's going on elsewhere. And it felt like that second goal was on the table. It wasn't, and it was snatched away from you in that 91st minute with Marcos Leonardo, who gets the goal. Lucas Braga gets the assist. Great night for Lucas Braga of Santos. He was the man of the match. It wasn't quite done there, and that's what makes it even harder to swallow for Defensa supporters. In deep in stoppage time, goalkeeper Ezequiel Unsain is up. Might have been involved in keeping this play alive. Ball falls to Brian Romero, your goal scorer, inside the 6. He has a good look, and it's blocked at the near post, and that's the final touch of the match. Romero collapsed into tears. Defensa players collapsed everywhere. It was a brutal way to go out if you're Defensa y Justicia. Hernan Crespo said afterwards, "We left this competition with our heads very high." He talked about how proud he was of the players, talked about how they fought so hard. They created goal-scoring chances, which is something he was worried about their ability to do going into the situation. Santos is in the middle of a league season. Defensa has only played in the Libertadores since a return to play. That has a factor in this. You're just not in a normal frame of mind and form and just control of the way games go. This was one where maybe you get into stoppage time at 1-1, you see it out, and you be careful. The line was very, very high, and it's a ball over the top that Santos ends up getting the winning goal on. Inexperience at this level, potentially. That's something Crespo alluded to. I think it can absolutely play into it. So, finishing third in the group, Defensa y Justicia goes into the Copa Sudamericana, and they will play Sportivo Luqueño from Paraguay. First leg of the round of 32 is tomorrow, Wednesday evening. You'll be able to watch in the United States on Fanatis or on BN Sports, BN Sports Connect. FNTZ.co/soccer down here is our affiliate code for Fanatis. If you're not a subscriber, you can sign up for the free trial. That benefits Soccer Down Here. You can also subscribe through that link, and that also benefits Soccer Down Here. It's a great service. I've used it for years to watch everything from Libertadores to Sudamericana to the Argentine Primera División and Superliga. Be watching the Copa Liga Profesional de Football on Fanatis here coming up very soon. We'll talk about that here in a second. La Liga, the Turkish Super League, Liga, so much stuff on Fanatis. Highly recommended. I'll be watching afterwards because I have an Atlanta United match to be calling tomorrow evening. When you look at Sportivo Luqueño, they've won 3 of their last 6 matches in the Paraguayan League. That does include a 7-0 loss to Olimpia somewhat recently. That's a bit of a problem. They've played 16 times since returning to action in late July. The Paraguayan League has played 2 rounds of its current competition. They just completed the last one. And this is a club that's been through a few coaching changes in 2020. Currently, Carlos Humberto Paredes is the manager. He replaced Hernan Rodrigo Lopez last month. In March, at the beginning of the Sudamericana competition, Celso Gavilan was the manager. He beat Mineros from Venezuela in the first phase, 5-4 on aggregate. Now, the winner of this series between Luqueño and Defensa will face off with the winner of Vasco da Gama and Caracas in the round of 16. You look at Luqueño's squad, it's a mix of young guys. It's a mix of experienced players. They've got some products of their academy. The captain, 29-year-old midfielder Blas Diaz, he spent his whole career in Paraguay. You have 3 Argentines with some experience in the Ascenso, goalkeeper Daniel Campisi, midfielders Franco Aragon and Walter Ortiz. Looking ahead as the team has prepared for this, Crespo said, you have to heal the scars and look forward. I'm still proud and trusting these guys. We left the Libertadores with a very high head, and I hope that this experience will serve us for the Copa Sudamericana. And look, this is a competition that Defensa has had success in the past. In 2018, they made the quarterfinals. That's going to be the expectation here again. Getting ready for this first leg of the Sudamericana round of 32, Vélez was the opponent on Saturday. Defensa traveled to play them. It was a 1-0 loss. Both teams rotated their squads quite a bit to try to get everybody fresh for this. Vélez is also playing in the Sudamericana this week. The match was at Vélez. Second half was a heavily rotated group for Defensa, and the goal was given up when reserve goalkeeper Ledesma committed a foul, conceded a penalty to Cristian Tarragona late in the second half. Now, other news for Defensa, because they have had plenty of things going on since this Libertadores match. They have added a defender in Emmanuel Brites. Brites is signed through December of 2023. 28 years old. He comes over from Unión de Santa Fe. He had a stint at Independiente. Great friends with Brian Romero. He can play all over the back line. And that's going to be needed because a player, Nicolas Trapicio, is headed to Guarani on loan until the end of 2021. Purchase option for $600,000. Brites becomes very important in replacing Trapicio. It came off the bench in the Libertadores. Also, Defensa is sending out Nicolas Avellaneda to Ferro. He'll be going out on loan as well. Don't have the terms of that one. Now, in addition to what's going on in CONMEBOL play, Defensa y Justicia will be getting started in the Copa Liga Profesional de Football, the competition that will bridge the Argentine domestic calendar between now and the start of the first season of the newly named Liga Profesional de Football. Defensa is in a group that starts this weekend. They will play on November 1st against Colón de Santa Fe. The way this will work, you play everybody in your group, home and away. The top 2 teams will go into the championship bracket. The bottom 2 teams will go into a consolation bracket. The winner of the championship round, which will be 2 groups of 6. It'll be 12 teams that go there. 2 groups of 6. You play everybody once. The 2 group winners will play in a final. That team will go into the 2021 Copa Libertadores. Now, the loser of that match will play the winner of the consolation tournament, which is the same format. 2 groups of 6. Winners play each other in a consolation final. The winner of the consolation final will play the loser of the championship final in a match to go into the Copa Sudamericana in 2022. There will be a test on all this because it will probably change once the competition starts, because that's how these things go at times. So in addition to Colón, Defensa is in a group with Independiente and Centro Córdoba. These 6 matches will be played over the next 6 weeks. This Copa Liga Profesional de Fútbol will move forward through the rest of the calendar year and will conclude with those finals in January. So you're back to a normal kind of schedule if you're Defensa y Justicia now. And look, they've needed that. I think it showed in the Libertadores. The results were very good with the return to play, with a win over Delfín, a win over Olimpia. The loss at Delfín is probably going to be the one that Hernan Crespo will lose sleep over. The performance at Santos was very good. Not good enough to get the ultimate result, but it was a very good performance. Defensa will now be able to get into a bit of a rhythm with matches on a regular basis. So after the Copa opener on November 1st against Colón, November 3rd will be the second leg of the Sudamericana tie with Luqueño, and that will be on November 3rd. So we will be back after the weekend's action. We'll update first leg of the Sudamericana, first game in the Copa Liga Profesional de Fútbol, and we'll preview the second leg of the Sudamericana series. Thanks to everybody who has checked this out. Thanks to everybody in Argentina who has spread the word about this. It's a lot of fun to follow this team. I really enjoy watching this team right now. I love the work that Hernan Crespo is doing. This is a team that is playing an exciting style. I like the belief that he gives to his players. You just see him on the touchline, and he looks like a manager that you want to play for. And I think that's gone a long way for this young group of players. I'm excited to see what the season will bring in the Copa Liga Profesional de Fútbol and potentially a Copa Sudamericana run. It's going to be a fun fall and early winter for us here in the States. But we'll be doing the Spirit of the Hawk and covering all of it for you on a weekly basis. So thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.